Hi, I'm Dave Young from CryptoVest.com and this is Token Talk. This is a new weekly show where I will take a look offline at the slew of upcoming ICOs and find a few that are interesting and go into a little bit more detail. This is an opinion piece. There are no paid slots. The opinions are mine and mine alone. As such, if you wish to invest in a project, do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice. I'm taking everything from my own point of view and from the point of view of a small private investor. Now, on this week's show, we have Kambria, a new cooperative robotics platform, Liquidity, off-chain solutions for the payments industry. The Kambria ICO and the KAT token are due out sometime this month. We're waiting for the exact date, but it's a very interesting project that seeks to bring a new collaborative way of working to the robotics industry. They're heavily influenced by the DARPA awards, the US Defense Advanced Research Project Awards, which ran from 2012 to something like 2016 or 15, with heavy cash prizes given out to teams that were given robotic challenges to solve. Now, our guys come from OhmniiLabs, which is a company that's already built its own communications robot that lives within the home. That's found quite a niche in the American market, caring for frail relatives. So it's an interesting product. It's a little small remote robot that looks like a phablet on steroids. It whizzes around under remote control, harassing elderly relatives, making sure they're okay. Now, seriously, it has generated a lot of TV coverage, a lot of human interest stories. It's given them some great video shots, and it's great for the PR for the project. But the project is about building a platform where bounties will be set, challenges set, teams will compete for these, and everything will be driven forward in an Android world of kind of open source robotics. And they hope to tip the key factors that key players will find it irresistible not to be able to join as the whole industry moves forward. It's very much inspired by that DARPA model. The team is young and dynamic. They've obviously achieved a lot in their short time with their own robot being launched. The advisory board got some interesting names on there, got some VC, got some good pedigree there. It bodes well for the investor. The white paper is set out well, but it is only at draft stage, and as such, there do seem to be a few points missing. They want $25 million, but nowhere does it say how they arrived at $25 million. They just picked it out of the air. What is the spending plan? There's no detailed token metrics, so it's pretty hard to comment on it at the moment. The whole offering is well presented, it's professional, it's well thought out. In the long run, it could be a game changer. Across social media and Telegram, they seem to be having a very good time. They seem to be getting interest. They seem to be growing organically without overhype and without using airdrops and the like. It's a good sign. In the short term, and the present market conditions, is it good for a flip as soon as it hits the exchange? I would say neutral. In the long term, if they can get the traction, get it moving, I think it has very good prospects for long-term growth. Now, there are a few aspects that I'd want as an investor to be addressed and discussed before I'd be willing to put my money in the venture. Now, the first one would be the foundation, how it's set up, and the governance. OhmniiLabs was a commercial company. They were making robots for money with manufacturing facilities. They seem to suddenly evolve into the foundation. And will it be an independent foundation? Will it be regarded as an independent foundation? Or will it just be seen as the marketing arm of another robotics company? Because if it is seen that way, it won't be able to achieve its aims. It will need to be independent. And secondly, will there be any news of any up-and-coming partnerships or any intent from any large bodies to actually place some challenges and place some bounties and get the whole thing moving? Now, obviously, this is a very interesting ICO to be watching as it comes up to its launch date. Our next ICO, Liquidity, is one of the more interesting ICO asset classes, being scaling solutions for blockchains. Now, as the world theoretically and optimistically, I hope, moves forward to mass adoption of cryptos and everyone starts using it, there's going to be massive scaling problems. Now, everyone in the industry recognizes this. Vitalik's talked about it a lot. He pushes for off-chain, for sharding. And you've got a lot of people working across the whole spectrum to try and give their better solution. Now, we've had a load of cross-platform solutions that have launched: Credits, Zilliqa, Fusion, QuarkChain, and they've all given plus returns to the investors as they hit the exchanges. Most of them have been sharding solutions, and you've got your off-chain solutions, the ones that take a whole load of transactions, put some collateral against them, allow them to happen in one space off-chain. So you've had your Raiden network, you've had your Lightning network, all promising great futures but not delivering the actual product needed yet. So here we get Liquidity, and they step in with their own off-chain solution based on distributed acyclic graphs, DAGs. Now, what is a DAG? Let's take a quick minute and we're going to explain to you this one quite simply. Okay, it wasn't that simple. But what you do need to know about the world of DAG is that it offers a lot of new opportunities to do a lot of sexy things in a kind of strange network. The most famous one is the Tangle in IOTA. And the biggest thing that they're touting for liquidity is that, like, for example, where you have Lightning, let's say you want to take it off chain, you take $1 million worth of transactions, you need $1 million of collateral tied up. Now, if you do this in a DAG solution, liquidity solution, it would take 1/20th less of the collateral to be tied up at any one time. Now, if this can work, it can be a big move forward, can be very efficient and very attractive, especially for micropayments and reducing the cost down for, say, massive airdrops, microtransactions and the like. Now, the guys, Arthur Gavay and Khalil, sorry, I'll get it right, have actually put together an MVP, and they've been getting a lot of attention. In Forbes, they even got their lucky break with Vitalik actually being mentioned in an article saying he had looked at the solution onto off-chain solution for liquidity, and he found it very promising and very interesting, and that's given them a big boost. They've had a lot of attention, been doing the rounds since then. They're getting some money behind him, they're getting some serious names. They've not completely built out the team, they're doing their ICO. Now, their ICO starts on the 14th of June. It's got know your customers, you have to go through that, but it's an interesting Dutch auction where it starts off at a stupidly high price, then at separate time intervals it keeps stepping down, and where you feel comfortable you put your bid in. Now, when there's enough bids on the table to match what's required, it's stopped and the price is equalized out and everyone gets the same price. So it's a little bit like who's got the right nerves, who's going to come in too early. Now, obviously, really, I shouldn't even be talking about this because the more people you tell about the Dutch auction, the worse the deal gets. But it is a very interesting ICO. This is definitely one to be watching. Right, and honorable mentions this week go to a project called Elipig. As I going through massive mounds of strange ICO pitches, their little 1.5 minute cartoon blah 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 boring videos, and half of them made by the same shitty producers for like $5 budget, I suddenly see Elipig and the sight of two businessmen in suits bouncing around on children's toys in a garden was, well, disturbing but very amusing. Respect, guys. I'm Dave Young from CryptoVest.com. This was Token Talk. Stay current, stay valid, stay tuned. Till next time.